Now you probably will ask yourself, why this guy is so happy? Because when I start something from a sphere, especially head of a character, I'm super happy. I'm very kind of cheerful, and the first few hours of a concept that I'm doing are the best for me. So we have to do a little bit of something before we start with the head. It will be putting our concept in ZBrush. How to do that? We'll go to texture, we go to import, and then we'll find our concept. In this case, this will be only the head. This is our concept, but I will just take the head, open it, then go to texture again because nothing happened, and where is the concept? No, we go to texture again, we click on, not on this, because I put it inside later, lately, yeah, and we'll put on whatever texture we need, we'll click on it, and then we go to add to spotlight button, this button here. So we click it, and then it's here. So, and the other one is also here, but we don't need it, so it will go out. So we click on our thing, and we can move it, we can do whatever we want, and we can move the circle just by clicking this orange circle inside. Outside the orange, but inside the big circle, we will move the concept. So I will make this smaller because we don't need it that big, and I will put it in this area here, and I think it should be okay. So how to start working on our sphere now? We have to press Z. When pressing Z, we are back here, and we can start working, and this will stay here. With Shift Z, we get rid of this. With Z, it's on. So the thing is that now only brush that will work in ZBrush now is the move brush. The other brushes are not working. Why? Because when we have the spotlight here, we have to go to brush, samples, which is the fourth option, create curve depth samples, and disable the last thing, spotlight projection. When we disable that, everything will start to work. Okay, this is not a necessary step. You can do it, you cannot do it. It's your choice, absolutely. So let's continue. How to start? I always start with a sphere, and I always make it a helmet shape. But before we start again, we have to change the background color and also the perspective. So we go to draw and make the perspective here 85. 85 is best for heads. For body and everything, maybe 50 will be nice, which is the default setting, 50. But 85 is nice for heads. When we go, then we go to documents, found this back thing that it's like not even a button, and click and hold on it, and then we go to when we hover over anything in ZBrush here, the background will become this thing, but I'm holding the right mouse button, the left mouse button, and now it will be, I think this color will be nice. So now we can start. Now we are working with, I don't know what material, but I like to work with the basic material here. And also what I like to do, but I will tell you later. So now first we need to have symmetry. We have it with X. We can turn it on and off, the symmetry, and perspective on, it's okay. And now we can start. How to start? Of course, we always start with a helmet shape. Most of you, or probably some of you, know that I always start with a kind of a helmet shape. The shape of a motorcycle helmet. So when I do this, I go and make, we have the chin, it's not exactly the chin, but it's something like a chin, and I go and make the neck. But this resolution now is pretty huge, so we'll go to Dynamesh, go down at 48, and this resolution is the best. So what I did is I get the resolution of Dynamesh 48, and then I just masked outside the object, not like this, outside, and I just Dynameshed it. And now I can flatten it a little bit with the high polish brush on the sides, and it's kinda, you see, it's already helmet. But this helmet is not the thing we want to do. We want to do a head. So right in the middle of this helmet here down, I make a mask, control click invert the mask, and then I make this kind of a neck. Since our character is pretty much not realistic, it's stylized, of course, and yeah, it's stylized. I will Dynamesh it again. The neck will be pretty thin, but we'll see about how thin will be the neck compared to the head and all those things later, because now we don't have the most important things like the face. From top view, the head should look like an egg, which is put on its smaller side down. You see, smaller side and the bigger side here. A little bit like an egg. It's not exactly an egg, but whatever. So, for stylized characters, we have to exaggerate some proportions, exaggerate some features on the face, and also on the clothes and armors or whatever. Everything it needs to be a little bit exaggerated, a little bit simplified sometimes, a little bit generalized, the forms. So this is something that is true for the stylized characters. Like, for example, the games Fortnite or Overwatch or League of Legends, the characters there are pretty stylized. So what I did now, I made the chin a little bit sharp. Why? Sharp chin is characteristical for the females. Not only stylized, but the normal ones too. I mean, the realistic. So I made this, and also I see how she has this kind of a sharp chin in here. So it's cool. Let me tell you a little bit more about the stylized characters. So we will see this thing here. So stylized characters, not exactly this one that we're doing now, but more stylized, they're resembling a baby face. Why? Big eyes, kind of a very small, very tiny nose, and very kind of pronounced forehead, like you see here. So this image is from Anatomy for Sculptures, very nice book by the way. It has a lot of things in it, and if you are doing like, you are interested in stylized characters, yes, but it's useful to, I mean, it's inevitable to have anatomy knowledge. Without anatomy knowledge, you can do some stylized characters, but they will be kind of the same. So each and one of them will be the same because you don't know the basic structure of the bones, of the muscles, of the forms of the human body, and this is very, very important. So let's continue with our head. We will learn a little bit about anatomy also, and I will teach you about some things for the head and for the body, of course. For the body especially. Because the most important things for doing a character is the base, in my opinion. We need to have the right proportions, head to body ratio. We need to have a very nice looking head, very nice looking hands. The feet are not that important because most of the time they are with shoes or something. So those things has to be good. If we're not doing that good, we are screwed. Not good, screwed. Okay, now let's make the neck a little bit forward because I need the forehead to go a little bit back. So I'm doing this with the move brush mostly. And I'm doing it like kind of a baby face, but not quite, because this is not so stylized. The more stylized or cartoonish characters, most of them are looking like a baby. A little bit. Okay, so now we make this a chin. With the down standard brush I do just this, and then I smooth. I always smooth, by the way. So I will do this is the lower jaw here. We'll have the lower jaw, and around the middle of this distance here, around the middle, we will make a dot in here. Yeah, it's not exact. I mean, you can do it whatever and then move it. But around the middle we'll have a dot, and behind it we'll make a mask. Why? This will be our ear. I made a mask, a little mask, just a dot of a mask, and then invert it, and then with the move brush I just make this. Then I get rid of the mask, and I kinda start to have some ears. The ears of our character are not super stylized. I mean, they're kinda stylized, but they resemble pretty much normal ears, so it will be fine. The idea is that very common mistake is to make the ears very much in the front. You have to follow this rule. The ears start from the middle of the head on profile view. It's not a strict rule, but yeah. Now I dynameshed, and then we continue working. I'm smoothing. I'm working with a damn standard brush, very good brush by the way. It's standard in ZBrush since, I mean, a few years ago. Before that, Damien, I'm not sure what exactly was his name, but Damien something, he created that brush, and it became standard in ZBrush at some point. It is very nice brush. It's kind of a standard brush, but it has this kind of pinching and also sharpening effect, and it's good for making detail sometimes. Most of the time I use it, by the way. So this is our head for now. It doesn't look very nice. It looks like a base, but it's not good. We have to make the jaw a little bit more narrow, and we have to be careful to make this kind of a skull area very much nicer. From this 3/4 view I noticed that this is too round in the top, so we will make it a bit more squarish here, and like this and like this. Very much also common mistakes even in professional artists when they're doing a stylized character is to make this kind of thing. Especially female, to make it this kind of neck is no. So it has to have kind of a inward and then sharp transition and then the neck. You see that this looks much better than the other one, the other kind of thing. So what we need to do here. Okay, the head now it is looking a little bit squarish from the sides, so we will adjust it. And we will have time to adjust it a lot, because it's very important to get this form of this shape of the skull very nicely, since it will be pretty much visible. She doesn't have too much hair, as you see. So yeah, it will be visible and we have to make it right. So the other thing, the eyes. We'll push a little bit for the eyes. The eyes, where they are, of course, everybody knows. If you don't know, I will tell you. The eyes are in the middle of the head from the front view. So if our head is like, let me try do something here. I don't know. Okay, my program is not working. I have this program, but it doesn't matter. We will make it work. Yes, so when we have this, we can go like this to see where is our center. This will be the line and the center will be around this area. So this is where the eyes will be most of the time in the normal person. So this girl will have the eyes. So for the eyes, let me tell you just a little bit about the eyes and other features. So the eyes are most of the time in this character, since it's not super stylized. I mean, it's pretty stylized obviously, but the eyes are not super big. So they will be, the eyes, not the eyeballs by the way, the eyes should be 1/5 of the width of the face. So eye from here to here, then the other will be in one eye distance. There will be one eye here, and then on one eye between here and here, and between this area, by the way, which is the most wide area of the face. Then we'll have the nose. Where will be the nose? The nose ends like in the middle of this area around here. It should end, so it will start from here. The nostrils could be around this area, and we will be like this. See, so we have eyes, we have nose, which is very interesting nose, and yeah. So the mouth, by the way, the mouth. So if we have the middle of this area here, between this and this point, the mouth will be kind of upward, not in the middle. It will start like this will be the end of the lower lip maybe. Let's try that. So this will be the upper lip. Especially when we stylized a female, most of the time the distance between the nose and the upper lip, the end of the upper lip, is very small, and then it looks like more, you know, it's nice. So this will be kind of the thing. Of course it's very rough and it doesn't look super cool, as you can see, but basically that's it. Also the inner corners of the eye, so the inner corners of the eye are very much inside the skull, so they are much inside the inner corners of the eye. If you look yourself, of course yourself it will be difficult to look from a profile view, but yeah, you can see how there's a big distance between the corner of the eye and the nose here, and this is very much people are making a mistake. They're not making this distance big enough. We can also dig here, so we can have a place for the nose, because around the nose also is very much dug up in the inside the face. And you see how this is kind of working. Then we will have our eyes a little bit. You know, they will not be exactly like this, but we will see. Of course we will make eyeballs separately, but it will be later. For now we just need to make the overall forms. Here what I like to do, on the side of the eye, I like to dig a bit and go like this, and then smooth it. We'll see if that will work, but probably it will. And also, when we look at the concept and our thing, we need to look at it at the same way. So the concept, we look at it, we look at our thing, and we make this kind of thing here. We have to be careful, by the way, of this thing, because, you know, I have it. You see how it's here. It's here. I have this kind of line. It's very visible. But it's very visible in man. In female, in male, in woman, it's not that visible. So we have to be careful with that. Also, the eye, kind of those kind of where the eyebrows are, the upper part of the eye socket, it needs to be a little bit more, like if we look from the below, it should be backwards a little bit, the corner here. So it shouldn't be straight here, it should be backward. This way it will be more feminine, because for the male we can do very big things, and yeah, but for the female no. So we'll dig also here, because we need to make space for the mouth. Here we have the chin, and you see how the chin is going like forward and then backward, and is the same in our concept, so it's fine, we're doing good. And then we will, with the down standard brush, I will just make it sharper. And then we'll continue by making the nose. And the nose of our character is pretty unique, because it's pretty big, and it's female, but the nose is pretty big, and also it's kind of a backward curve, like this, the nose. But we'll see if we will make it like this. We'll see which will be better for us. So the lower eyelid here, and this will be the between, we can make it visible, and as I told you, this will be pushed, and then it will fade in here. So this area here will not be as pushed, and yeah, it's not pushed at all. You see, it's like almost flat with the rest, but here in the inside it's pushed. So I will move the nose a little bit upward, and I will smooth. So everything should be smooth. We always smooth, but we have to be careful where we smooth, because if we smooth like this, we will lose all the features that we kind of made. Also, although if we go upper in the subdivisions, we probably will lose those features anyway, but whatever, it doesn't matter that much. So this is the first step. I will make the eyebrows go down a little bit, so she's more frowning. She's frowning a little bit, and that's kind of good. So we don't have nostrils yet, but we can make something like this. And very important, by the way, something like nostril. Very important, and you see it, but you probably don't realize it, but I haven't changed my Dynamesh resolution. I'm working in this low poly for as long as possible. This is very important. Many people are making the mistakes to go up because they want to do detail, but the main forms are wrong, and as much detail you put, it will be wrong. It will forever be wrong. It's like, for example, you're building a house, and the base of the house, you made it with some kind of a hay or some kind of a, I don't know, cotton base, and then you put a very big nice house over it. It will crumble, it will crash, it will go down, it will not gonna work. So the thing is, we need a good base, and the base is the most important thing, and the base is where I excel at. Yeah, it's a little bit modesty. The thing is that I love to do exactly this. I love to do the base. I love to do those forms, and when I kinda do them, it's not that interesting for me anymore. But don't worry, we will get this character, and you know very well, you see in the promo, we will do it until the end. And I haven't seen the promo yet because I haven't made it yet. Since I started the project, and I don't know what will become, you know. But I made numerous characters like this, so I'm pretty confident it will be okay. So this is the base of our character, and we'll end this video here. We'll continue in the next one with the character. I'm doing just little tiny touch-ups here and there from the side, from the back. The head should look more round, but overall this looks pretty nice. Let's make this kind of a muscle that rotates. It doesn't exactly rotate, but it helps on rotating the head, and also helps on other, like these things, for example. Yeah. Okay, this looks fine. This looks fine. And see you in the next video, where I will talk more, of course.